Coming up, it's our weekly NASCAR show where we can win $35,000. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, it's our weekly NASCAR show where we can win $35,000. We can win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races app, and we can win $10,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Excited to talk about this race coming on, a place where they've never been before, the Circuit of America's racetrack. I'm, of course, flying solo this week. William Blackwell couldn't quite join me, had an emergency going on, so we'll look forward to talking with him next week. We'll get him back here, and we'll obviously recap this race, and then we'll talk about the next one. But still, do go ahead and check out his channel. He did have time to recap the previous race at Dover, and also go ahead and preview this race coming up here, and he's got that Pick 5 contest going over his channel, so go ahead and check him out there. Before we jump on into this upcoming race, let's go ahead and just recap last week. Obviously, the boys were at Dover at that Dryden 400, and Alex Bowman won. And obviously, the talk of the show was obviously Hendrick and their complete, in domination. I mean, domination. I think they put up the stat when the race was completed. I think they said 2009. That was the last time that it happened where a four-car team had gone 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. So remarkable that they were able to pull it off. Obviously, they just got the setup right. And if you listen to Radioactive earlier on this week, Kyle Larson said it. He couldn't quite catch Alex Bowman, and it was all because of track position. And Alex Bowman, they won this race at the pit stop. I mean, all these cars were generally set up the same. You saw it with these Hendrick cars; they were all outstanding cars throughout the day. But Alex Bowman's pit crew got him out on the line first, got him out onto I got him out of the pits first, and they were obviously able to win that, and he was able to hold off Kyle Larson there and get the victory. So complete Hendrick domination again. Otherwise, a pretty uneventful race. Not a whole lot of cautions, not opportunities to really bunch these cars up and get restarts that we like, and where you get all that excitement during restarts. Just was a relatively uneventful track. And if you weren't a Hendrick fan, obviously not a race that you enjoyed. But if you were a Hendrick guy and that's a team that you support, then yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better finish. As again, Hendrick swept the top 4 spots, going 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So good job, Alex Bowman, though, going ahead getting his second victory of the season, really solidifying himself as maybe being a player, come playoff time. So good job by that 48 team. All right, let's go ahead now and jump on into this race here. We got the Echo Park Texas Grand Prix. It's at the Circuit of America's. First time NASCAR's ever raced here. They've never been to this racetrack here. So because of that, they are allowing practice and qualifying. That's something that we haven't seen much, during this COVID era. The last time we saw it was when they were on the dirt, there at Bristol, because that was so new to them. Well, obviously, with this being a new track, again, they're going to let the guys do practice and qualifying. So that'll matter. I'm certainly going ahead and giving you guys my picks now, but qualifying is actually not happening until the day of the race, until Sunday morning. So once that comes out, if there's any, information that we get where a heavy favorite guys maybe just had a bad qualifying for whatever reason and is starting way in the back, that'll modify, because I don't ever talk about starting position on these shows, but it matters on the road course. You guys remember we talked about on the road course, and we actually I believe we went 4-0 or either 3-1 on our NASCAR head-to-head bets that we do every week on my daily sports betting show at the Daytona road course. So to me, starting position does matter on a road course as opposed to any other track. So we'll just kind of monitor the qualifying Sunday morning and see if we need to change any of these entries. And again, you can look for me on Twitter. It's at Winning Bets Pod if we didn't do that. So it's the great big unknown on this racetrack. Obviously, with the new racetrack, where are cars going to find spots to make passes? That'll be the thing that I'll be looking at. Normally on road courses, you get a couple spots, throughout the track to find a spot where you can pass drivers. So that's what I'll be looking for, is where are those spots? Or will it be like Alex Bowman at Dover, where this race will be won or lost in the pit stalls? Pit stalls always matter, even if it's just a fraction of a second. A fraction of a second matters a whole hell of a lot. So if there's not a whole lot of spots on the racetrack to maybe make passes, we'll look to maybe see who can bring the best pit crew to this racetrack this weekend. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's start with the jackpot races. That's where we can win $25,000. That's where they give you 6 groups of drivers. You got to pick the driver to finish best amongst the group, and you got to give them a winner and a second place finish. For my research here, to me, it was all about driver momentum and all about road course history overall, because again, no history at this track. So I just look at road course history overall and really just focused on the last 9 races there. All right, with that being said, let's jump into it. For Group 1, I'm going to go ahead and give Chase Elliott. He's a huge odds books give him a huge favorite to go ahead and be the race winner. I do agree. The last 9 road courses, he's won 5 of those last 9. So better got more than a 50% chance he's going to go ahead and win this weekend. So like Chase Elliott there in Group 1. He struggled at Daytona road course. Not going to lie, he definitely did struggle. But he has 3 straight top 10s entering this week. And again, I look at momentum. So a guy who's strong at the road courses and then's got 3 straight top 10s leading up to this weekend. And while Truex may have the better average finish than Chase Elliott, and he's obviously in this group, Chase Elliott has a better driver rating. To me, I put more emphasis on driver rating than average finish when they're at least finishing, pretty close there in the 2 categories. Because driver rating, it's how you drive in your car. You can have a bad average finish because you got some late mechanical, or for whatever reason, maybe you cut a tire and you hit the wall and then you have damage and what have you, or you're just getting a wreck. So to me, driver rating is a better indication of how the driver is performing, minus all that just bad luck that can happen to them. And Chase Elliott has a better driver rating than Martin Truex Jr., so I went with Chase Elliott. All right, for Group 2, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Kevin Harvick. Look, much like Chase Elliott's got good momentum coming into this track, so does Kevin Harvick. He's got 4 straight top 10s. He's got the better average finish and better driver rating in this group, and he had a 6th place finish there at the Daytona road course. So like what he was able to do on that road course, like his momentum, I'll go ahead and go with Kevin Harvick this week in Group 2. For Group 3, I'll go ahead and give it to Kurt Busch. He had a strong showing at that Daytona road course. He finished 4th at that one. Amongst drivers in this group, he's got the best average finish and best driver rating on the last 9 road courses. And in those last 9 road courses, he's got 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s. So like Kurt Busch in this one. And I'll tell you, if maybe you do an entry with you and maybe you do an entry with your wife, watch out for AJ Allmendinger. Watch out for him in this group. He's going to be a strong competitor amongst these drivers in this group, but obviously I went ahead and gave the edge there to Kurt Busch. For Group 4, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Chris Buescher. Look, he easily beats these drivers at the Daytona road course by 21 spots. By 21 spots, he beat every other driver here earlier this season at Daytona like that. And following that trend of easily beating the drivers in this group, he's easily got the best average finish and best driver rating. And in his last 9 races, he's got one of those finish in the top 5. And then he got 9th recently at Darlington. So guy that's got some pretty good, decent momentum going into it. But in terms of road courses, been killing the competition here in this group. So Chris Buescher for me. For Group 5, I'll go ahead and give it to Daniel Suarez. The numbers, if you look at the recent history here at road courses, the numbers will say Aric Almirola, but can't do it. I mean, mentioned it last week on why I didn't pick Aric Almirola when he's got good numbers at a racetrack, because he'd been running into bad luck, and that's exactly what happened to Almirola last week. I mean, just, I think he cut a tire there and hit the right wall. I mean, just bad luck. Just bad luck in Aric Almirola in that 10 car. So, yeah, can't have him. Give me Daniel Suarez. Suarez was 16th at the Daytona road course, best amongst drivers in this group. He's got 1 top 5, which was back in 2018 at Watkins Glen, so he's got some good history here on the road course. So I'll say Daniel Suarez. For Group 6, I'll go ahead and say Erik Jones. What I liked about him is we talk about starting position. This was a guy that was able to overcome bad starting position at Daytona. He got 37th starting position at that road course and finished in 14th, which is only 1 spot behind Cole Custer. So just imagine if he can get a little bit better of a starting position, this weekend here, he can have a really nice finish. Maybe he can even crack that top 10. Can Erik Jones? His last 9 at the road courses has 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. And that takes into account the Daytona road course, the Charlotte Roval, Watkins Glen, and Sonoma. He's got top 5s, top 10s at all those. So isn't just a guy that, has found one road course that he likes and dominated it. Now, he's done really good at generally all the road courses here on the NASCAR circuit. So give me Erik Jones, that number 43 car. All right, for a winner, the number 9 car, baby. The number 9 car is going to be bringing it to victory lane. I've got Chase Elliott doing it. Look, this could be what the champ needs. This could be what the champ needs. I've told you about his momentum. 3 straight top 10 finishes. Obviously, he doesn't have a win yet in this season. He's been running good lately and just coming to a road course with good momentum as opposed to the road course, being earlier on this season, the second race of the year. This road course is now coming into it with some momentum. Coming into it with some positive steam. This could claim his first victory of 2021. So give me Chase Elliott. And then for second place, I went with Chris Buescher in the 17 car. This feels like a spot where it's like a lesser known guy, you know, not a Hamlin, not a, you know, Truex, an Elliott. This just feels like the second place finisher will be a little bit of a lesser known guy. I like Chris Buescher's numbers here at road courses. I like his 9th place finish there at Darlington. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Buescher there as a second place finish. All right, let's jump it over now to the Fox Bet Super 6 app. This is where we can win $10,000. This is the one where they give you 6 questions. All you got to do is correctly answer 6 questions. Before we jump into it, let me remind you guys, we finally hit a jackpot. We finally hit a jackpot here on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. This is the first video we've done since we hit that jackpot here on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, and it feels really good to hit that jackpot alongside of all of you guys. So let's carry that positivity on into this one, and let's see if we can do it. All right. Question 1 is, which driver is going to have the best finishing position? I'll go ahead and say Chase Elliott. How many cautions will there be? I'll say there will be 5. There were 8 at the Daytona Road Course last year, or earlier this year. Albeit one of those was due to weather, so maybe there was only 7, but I'll go ahead and say 5. Which driver will lead the most laps? I'll go ahead and say Chase Elliott. And again, we got to look at qualifying, you know, see where qualifying lands, but Chase Elliott for me right now. Driver with the fastest lap, I'll go ahead and say Chase Elliott. At that Daytona Road Course, he had the 21 of the 70 most fastest laps. So of the 70 laps they ran at Daytona, he had 21 of the fastest laps. Go ahead and give me Chase Elliott. Which manufacturer will the most cars in the top 10? I'll say Ty. If we look at that Daytona Road Course, that's how this one would have been answered, which would have been solved or whatever. Would have been Ty. So I'll go ahead and say Ty. And then question 6, teams with the most drivers in the top 10. I'll go ahead and give it to Joe Gibbs Racing. You got Truex, who's good on road courses. You got Hamlin, that's pretty decently. And you got Christopher Bell, who won that road course earlier on the season. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to Joe Gibbs Racing. But again, guys, whether it's the jackpot races or whether it's this Fox Bet Super 6 app. We know Fox Bet Super 6 app, we can watch stage 1 and modify our answers, so make sure you're following me on Twitter. We've changed our answers every single week. And then on the jackpot races, let's see where practice, let's see how these guys practice, let's see how these guys qualify. Maybe we'll make a change there. Again, you can look for me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod if we're making changes. Otherwise, this is how we're doing it. This is how we're going to win $35,000 at the Circuits of America road course for the first time ever. Excited to see cars on track that they've never been on. Look forward to see how this one unfolds. Look forward to having you guys come back next week. We'll be joined by William Blackwell. We'll recap this race and preview the next one. Good luck this weekend. Enjoy the race, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.